Hi, I'm Glenn Ford. I'm a senior partner here at Learning Creators, and I help information marketers and entrepreneurs learn to create learning content in the form of videos, audios, books, and other course materials so that they can build their own businesses and reach their own goals for financial freedom. Now, one of the questions that new writers always ask is, how long should my nonfiction book be? In this video, I'm going to attempt to answer that question. However, part of the reason that new writers find it difficult to pin down an answer is because the answer itself is so difficult to explain. It isn't as straightforward as it seems it should be. In fact, the answer is, it depends. So what I'm going to do in this video is show you how to figure it out for yourself. Now, first off, you need to make two decisions. Specifically, you need to decide what type of book you will be writing. You see, the type of book you write, whether it's a self-help, executive summary, technical discussion, is going to affect the length of book your audience expects. The second decision is how you're going to be publishing that book. For example, are you going to write an ebook and give it away as a bonus? It's going to be very short. Less than 50 pages is common. Are you going to sell it? Well, then it's going to be a little bit longer, but it's still going to be quite short. Or are you going to sell it on Amazon? In that case, 150 pages is an absolute minimum. Are you going to write a popular how-to and use a traditional publisher? Well, each of them have specific sizes that they expect from your book. Or are you going to write a textbook and sell it through university bookstores? Hey, in that case, sky's the limit. Just be sure it's very, very long. Now, the format of your book helps dictate the size of the book. A paperback or mini book holds less words than an 8.5 by 11 hardcover, right? Therefore, it's going to have more pages. The topic will also have a great deal of influence. If you're writing on a technical subject, you're going to need more pages than you will for the typical self-help. There are also many other elements you need to take into account, many of which are marketing related. That's one reason why it's so difficult to pin down an exact size. The market changes over time. What's desired today will be funny tomorrow. Science fiction book of the 1960s, for example, seldom rose above 200 pages. They were short, but today, 400 pages is a typical minimum, with 600 pages or more being quite common. Now, that's why in this video, we're going to show you how to determine the answer yourself. The reason is, it's going to change over time. Now, calculating your book size is theoretically pretty simple. First off, you need to establish a standard length of page. Sounds good, sounds easy. Some writing educators will claim there's only one standard length of a page. Unfortunately, they never agree on what that standard is. Typically, fiction uses 250 words per page, although 300 is also a common value, and of course, anything in between. Nonfiction typically has longer sentences and less white space because it doesn't have dialogue. So numbers between 300 and 500 words are sometimes used as the yardstick, although 250 is also used. Now, personally, I somewhat arbitrarily use 250. Why? Because that's the average for a manuscript page that's properly formatted, and it works reasonably well for most books. But, like all the numbers, when discussing book length, you should consider them as yardsticks rather than firm numbers. I've seen situations where the book has had more than double the average number of words on a page. Now that we have the length of a page, even if it is an arbitrary one, we can go on to estimate the size of the book in the marketplace. Take a look in your business library or your local bookstore. You're going to find two phenomena. First off, you're going to find that almost all your books are more than 100 pages long, about 25,000 to 50,000 words, depending on your style. In fact, 150 pages is the usual minimum. There's a reason for that, by the way. By fiction standards, that's considered very short, novella size. In fact, in fiction, a short book is between 50,000 to 80,000 words, roughly 200 to 300 pages in paperback. Science fiction and some other genres, as I've mentioned, have been creeping up lately and can now exceed 400 pages, which is 200,000 words. Now, you'll find the typical popular business book runs between 25,000 and 75,000 words. Usually they're either 100 to 200 pages long or roughly 300 pages. Over that size is the territory of the academic or technical business book. Okay? That's normal. Typically, you will find that books group naturally after about 100 pages. Now, the reason for this is related to the pricing of a print run. The cost to produce each book is related to the format size, trade paperback, letter, etc. The binding, right, because of course a hardcover is more expensive than a paperback, and the number of pages. Now, this latter part tends to change prices at the 100-page mark. So preferred lengths tend to come in multiples of 100. For example, most short fiction runs at 200 pages, which is 50,000 words. Romance, westerns, etc. It's cheap. The next step is long fiction at 300 pages, about 75,000 words. Extra long is usually around 400 pages, 100,000 words, though yeah, it can go much beyond that. Now, why is the 150 pages minimum for a nonfiction book? Well, because at 150 pages, you can put a title on the spine. Otherwise, you can't put a title on the spine. So that tends to be your minimums. Nonfiction books vary considerably, and you need to check to see what their page sizes are from time to time. Now, ultimately, you need to check your local bookstore to determine the appropriate size. I'll repeat that as many times as I have to here. You'll find that certain markets have a preferred size or sizes. Some publishers will also list their preferences in directories like Writer's Market. That makes life easier, although most now prefer to make the writer guess. It helps to get rid of the people who don't know and haven't done any research. Of course, what you wish the length to be and what the actual length when you finish can be quite different, but at least this gives you a target to write towards, and you can make sure that you're somewhere in the ballpark when you finish. Now, I hope you enjoyed this 10 minutes of learning and that you'll join us for the next one. And while you're waiting, come over and check us out at www.learningcreators.com, where we've got more information like this, and we've got a free course on how to write a nonfiction book. See you for the next video.